Hey everyone, welcome back to Simplified by Singham. Well, today we are going to learn about something that confuses almost every beginner at some point, which is all about the global variable in Python. Don't worry if it sounds complicated. By the end of this video, you will not only understand the global variable and the global keyword importance, but you will also remember it forever. Okay, imagine like you have a variable that you created outside a function, and then inside a function, you want to change its value. You might think like, oh, that's easy. I'll just reassign it inside the function. But no, Python says, wait a second. Are you sure you're talking about the same variable? This is what it is going to ask you. That's where the global keyword comes in. It tells Python like, hey, I want to work with that variable that's outside the function, not a new one inside it. Let's see. Like for example, let's create a variable and give its value 10. And let's create a function called modify. And then now you want to change this num value to 20. Okay. Now Python is going to ask you that, is this a new variable or is this... Now Python will be confused and it will be thinking that this num is completely different from this num because it is outside the function and it is inside the function, and it is going to create one more variable called num, but you want to access this variable and you want to change this value to 20. So in order to tell the computer, in order to tell the program that I want to reuse the same variable, you have to give this global keyword here. So you just have to give global num and then you have to assign the value to 20. So now the value of number changes from 10 to 20. And then when you run this function, when you call this, it will modify the value of num from 10 to 20. Like for example, let's print before and after so that you will see the difference. So here the value of So here the value is 10, and after performing this function, the value changed to 20. So this is actually a global variable, which means it exists outside any function and can be accessed anywhere in the program. Then we have our function modify, and inside it we wrote global num. So this line is super important because it tells Python that we want to use the num variable which is defined outside the function and not create a new one. So then we set the value of num to 20, and because of the global keyword, Python updates the global variable num, which means this, instead of creating a new local one. So finally, when we call modify and when we print it, you are going to see the number changes from 10 to 20. So that's how you modify a global variable inside a function using the global keyword. So if we didn't use the global keyword like this, and instead of keeping it here, let's keep it here. And now when you run it, you still see the output as 10 and 20, right? That's because Python creates a new local variable named num inside the function and the global one remains unchanged. Like if you print num here after calling the function instead of here. And if you see it, you still see it is not changing the value even after the function is, being applied. Remember, whenever you actually want to modify the global variable, use the global keyword. Now, a small word of caution. While global is useful, try not to use it everywhere. because it's better to return values from functions whenever possible so your code stays clean and easy to debug. Think of global as a special tool, you only use it when needed. Alright, guys, that's it for today's exercise. You have just learned how to modify global variables like a pro, something that every Python programmer eventually needs to know. If you have been following this series from the start, give yourself a big round of applause because you're doing amazing. And if you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on that little bell icon so you never miss any of my future lessons. Also, I've got a special ebook waiting for you. It covers all these exercises with step-by-step explanations, challenges, and bonus examples to help you practice even more. The link is right below in the description. Go check it out and keep learning at your own pace. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, keep coding, keep growing, and keep shining brighter every single day.